New developments about toxic heavy metals in baby food. The FDA is now on the clock to commit to reducing the contaminants in baby food.
And new tonight, the U.S. lawmaker driving the issue shared a pointed letter he sent to the FDA commissioner with our senior investigative reporter Lisa Fletcher, who's been uncovering problems in the baby food industry for years.
Dr. Califf, this is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable.
Congressman Krishnamorthi scolding the FDA's commissioner earlier this month for failing to set limits on neurotoxic metals in baby food. It's been 3 years since a bombshell congressional report called out the top baby food makers for dangerous levels of lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury in their products. Back then, the FDA created a program called Closer to Zero that was supposed to deliver strict limits to protect kids. But the timeline set by the agency that once promised concrete action by this year have been abandoned.
I want to throw up here a screenshot of your website from today. So in terms of when, for instance, arsenic in baby food would be examined, no update. That's what it says, right?
I'll take your word for it.
Quite frankly, sir, I respectfully say that your Closer to Zero program at this point is closer to zero updates. And that's very, very disturbing.
After the hearing, the FDA changed its website again, now targeting the end of 2025 for final guidelines. But Krishnamoorthi isn't taking their word for it. He sent this letter citing the FDA's failure to promptly deal with this issue and asked the agency to commit to finalizing guidance for lead in baby food by the end of this year and arsenic, cadmium, and mercury by the end of 2025. In a recent exclusive interview, he laid out why he believes the FDA has failed to act.
But what should Americans take from that in terms of the lack of action from the one place that they're expecting action?
I think that the industry is fighting back, they're resisting, and we have to do everything we can to make it clear to our legislators that we want them to act. We want them to push forward. We want our regulatory agencies like the FDA to be independent of industry, and regardless of what the industry says, we have to keep our families safe.
How concerned are you that the FDA is too influenced by industry?
I'm very concerned.
Krishnamoorthi introduced legislation that would have set limits for heavy metals in baby food all the way back in 2021, but it didn't come to a vote.
Krishnamoorthi told the FDA he wants a written response to the timeline he's laid out no later than May 10th.
Boy, Lisa, it's really hard to understand why it's been so difficult, frustrating even, to understand why the FDA hasn't taken action. I mean, the science is there, the data is there. What more do they need?
You're right. And we recently asked the FDA to sit down and talk to us about that and a number of other things, and they declined. You should know that we are working on a half-hour special on this issue, all new investigations, experts from around the country, and the pushback that the FDA and Congress are getting from really aggravated parents who want to see some results. And that's going to be probably in the next few weeks. We'll keep you posted.
All right, look forward to that
Yeah,
report.
great to keep beating that drum. Make sure people pay attention. Appreciate it, Lisa. Great reporting.